Hey Pisces, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Pisces, you have the King and the Queen, the Cave, the Seed, the Destroyer, the Orphan, the Nados, and the Mirror. Oh, I just get this feeling of like not letting go, just like refusing to let go of something. And it's almost this idea of like, if you can't let this go, then I get this feeling of like abandonment, and you feel like if you let go of this story, this image, this whatever, that you'll be abandoned. You know, like you bent the truth, and then somebody finds out that you bent the truth, and now you have this like overwhelming fear of abandonment. You could be either side of the story, and these are general reads, so take what resonates, leave the rest. But I get the feeling that there's this idea of like you're either going to be somebody who's destructive or somebody who's abandoned, but feeling like there's really no, it's either are you the bad guy, or are you the person with with their tail between their legs, and I feel like you're just kind of like in this energy of how do I, like, I feel like I'm losing either way. Which way is the least destructive for others, is kind of what I want to say. Like, I feel like your decision is like, well, I'm screwed either way, but what's going to be most beneficial for other people, right? It's like the idea of relationship, right? And if somebody says like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, then you have the choice to either get mad about it, or just say, okay, like I honor the fact that you know yourself well enough to know what's right for you. And it's not my job to try and talk you into it or manipulate you to do what it is that I want you to do, and bow out gracefully, right? Because again, it's that idea of like, which side of the fence are you on? Like, are you going to, make your decisions according to, what honors others, or a decision that honors yourself, right? Because to get mad and to be self-righteous and to, like, well, I did this because you did this, or you know what I mean, like to turn it into a battle is like, that's you acting as the destroyer, because you're not willing to let go of this altered reality. And I feel like that's just an energy that's still present in this reading even today. So, I mean, like, we're cyclical learners. Energy takes, some time to work itself out. And it's a process. And if you're willing to go through the process, then I think you find that you start to acquire, right, like good karma, right? It's kind of like, okay, like, I'm acknowledging that I'm a part of something that is greater than myself, and that when I behave this way, it has a negative impact across the board. And so I'm going to choose to not be somebody who negatively impacts the environment that I'm in, because someday I will be acknowledged as somebody who behaves in an honorable manner, rather than somebody who behaves, like as somebody who's like throwing a temper tantrum, basically, right? Because I think that like whatever it is that you were trying to accomplish originally, like this sense of intimacy, with whether it's your family or a group of people, but like it was just, a relationship, but it was just like there were just too many, I just want to call them like white lies along the way, to the point where like it couldn't grow. And left you feeling like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. But I just want to say, like, that's very short-sighted. That's a very short-sighted way to approach anything in life, right? Because building character, developing character isn't a one-time, isn't like an instant gratification. Oh, like I did one thing right, now I'm a good person. Like, no, like, are you somebody who's consistently like being a good person. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just kind of like where you're at. And if you've been in an energy that hasn't been all that great and you're upset because you don't have a reputation for being all that great, change your energy, change your approach. And develop the character that you want to be, right? I mean, like, wish it was just switch out your avatar, but it doesn't work like that in real life. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work to be that person. And when you work to be that person, you sacrifice and you lose sometimes. Sometimes you have to take an L to get the win. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. And I feel like for a lot of you, the idea here is that there's a relationship that you're losing or a relationship that you're missing out on, that is somebody who you feel like just very like connected to, somebody you have a lot of respect for, somebody who you thought like, I can help this person, like I can be good for this person. I can be, like I can make this right. I can do this. But when you went in to do it, like things didn't go according to plan because you were twisting things in order to get it to fit the way that you wanted it to fit. But you can't force puzzle pieces together if they're not meant to be, right? Whew. Pisces. Some heavy energy. Sending you guys all my love. I know that this is never easy, but if we don't deal with ourselves, it's not other people's job to do it for us, Like, if you can't be responsible for your own behaviors, like, what makes you think that you're somebody who can be responsible for other people's behaviors, Like, you gotta crawl before you can walk sometimes. We've all been there. The Devil, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. Yeah, because I feel like it's just this idea of, like, even when I try to pull myself up out of it, I still feel caught in this role of, like, lack and manipulation. I don't know, it really does have this energy of just feeling like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And when it's that way, sometimes you just have to cut the cords and you have to step away and you have to deal with your own shit, right? And when you can deal with your own shit, then you won't be coming in with lack, trying to manipulate people so that they don't notice. Pisces, okay. The Hermit, the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Or the Knight of Wands, I'm sorry. Yeah, because again, it's this idea of like pulling away, really feeling like you're missing out. Like, why can't I have that? And like wanting to really come in strong, hoping that it'll be enough, right? Like, you come in with like, okay, well, here's some real knowledge for you then. I almost feel like saying, okay, well then let me come clean and let me tell you the truth of how I was feeling and why I did all of these things. And again, I kind of get the feeling that it's one of those ideas where it's like, okay, cool. Doesn't change the fact that it was done. Actions speak louder than words. And until you can start matching your actions with your words, I just kind of get the feeling that there's going to be a blockage. The King of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, because again, I mean, the King of Cups in this deck he's very emotionally detached. He's kind of like, yeah, sure. And the Seven of Wands is just kind of this idea of like fighting battles and oftentimes fighting battles that you don't even need to fight, right? Because if you create drama and then you want to, like make the drama better, like you're still somebody who creates drama. And I feel like acknowledging it is the first step to healing it, but it's not going to have, like, there's not going to be this immediate, like, oh, okay, now everything's all better. Like, no, people are habitual, and change takes time, and that requires dedication, and a willingness to really discipline yourself, and not be someone who wants to just weasel around where it's convenient. And again, like, if it's something with your family and you're like, well, they didn't really agree with my lifestyle, so I had to do this. Okay, but you do have the choice to just be honest from the get-go. Like, you do have the choice to approach it from a place of sincerity instead of a place of trying to placate people. Because the vessel is the idea of build it or break it. And I just kind of feel like if you're going to try and build it, then you need to be aware of the fact that that's not something that happens overnight, and it takes a second to burn a bridge and years to rebuild it, right? And so I think that, like, the reality of it is that your actions haven't matched your words, and so like, your reality is now representing, like, what actually is, and you have to look at yourself and say, how much do I really want this? How much do I really want to work to be the best version of myself? Or do I just want to take the easy way out and let people go their separate ways? Ultimately that's up to you. But Pisces, I'm sorry that this is the energy that you're dealing with. It feels very heavy, but sending you all my love. Make the right decisions and watch as things open up for you. Like, have some faith that you matter as a person, and that once you start to honor yourself as a person, other people will begin to honor that as well. But again, it starts with you, right? Okay, Pisces, well, please give me a like, share, and subscribe if this does resonate. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.